Feeling like. Feeling like.
247.com. I'm in the studio with Don Michael Jr.
Yes, ma'am.
Who has a new project dropping August 3rd.
Yep, this Friday.
All right, Don Michael. So for anyone who doesn't know who you are or where you got your start, go ahead and introduce yourself.
He says that they saw some article about Mikey.
No, that's not possible. We looked so hard before we adopted him, and he didn't have any family. His parents were dead.
No, I know. We did the best we could, but it wasn't good enough. They turned up.
Well, they can go to hell. It's too late. Mikey is our child. These people, whoever they are, cannot just appear out of the blue and take him away. They have no right to do that.
They are his natural parents.
What natural parents? What are natural parents? We are his parents. He calls us mommy and daddy. He lives in our home. He is our child.
Donna, we will be prepared. We will fight this with everything we have.
Nobody's going to take my son away from me. Nobody is going to take my son. I don't care who they say they are.
Who are you calling?
I'm going to call Cass.
I already talked to Cass at great length.
What does he say? Surely he thinks this whole thing is absurd.
Donna, you can ask him yourself, all right? We've got an appointment with him right now.
Good. I'm sure he can shed some light on this and put the whole matter to rest.
I hope so.
What do you mean you hope so? What are you saying, Michael? That they could come here and take him away from us? That we could lose him?
It's possible.
I'm not going to lose my baby. I'm not going to lose my baby.
Mikey's natural parent.
No, don't say that.
Cass, would you tell her, please?
Donna, I'm demanding further tests, but I'm afraid that's the way it looks. I'm sorry.
No.
Does this mean we're going to lose our son?
No, not at all. Not at all. You have a very strong claim to Mikey. Very strong.
I love him, Cass. I mean, we adopted him legally.
That's right. Nobody has loved him the way we have. And these Millers, where have they been the last 2 years? Nobody knows who they are. They could be negligent parents.
Well, you can rest assured that we'll find that
As a matter of fact, I'm sure that they are, because otherwise, why would we have their son? If Mikey is their son, they could be worse than negligent parents. And if he were to go back to them, nobody knows what would happen to him.
Listen to Cass, please.
I'm listening.
The one thing, the only thing that we know about the Millers is that they're very serious about getting custody. And if this turns into a custody battle, there is one thing that's very much in their favor.
You mean aside from being his natural parents? What?
The fact that you two are going through a divorce.
Oh. Wow.
What do you need my footprints for? Oh, it's my birth certificate. I was born on August 9th, 1972.
Happened. Everybody knows it. This was the biggest thing that ever happened in the history of the planet. Look at that. Some unusual features of the cosmic ray storm in August of 1972. Now you got to realize, I'm the only one that knows this. On August 6, 1972, all life on planet was put to sleep, and they were not woken up until August 13th, 1972. All this is documented, but if you notice, every time it's talked about, this large solar flare, the date, the time, it keeps changing. You're looking at August 4th to August 7th. They're giving all different types. What time it happened, what day it happened, 6:30 UT, 8 hours after. All right. Here's another abstract. They're given the 1500. This is the common one, and then it just keeps changing all the time. They're saying a giant shock wave from this hit the Earth. Ooh, let's hit the PDF real fast. And then the major events during the 2nd to the 8th of August.
August 9th, 07.
Well, I know for a fact that it happened on August 7th because I remember August 6th being told that the whole planet was being put to sleep. On August 7th, after the event happened, Eastern Standard Time around 3 o'clock in the morning, I went to sleep. I woke up the following day. I observed all the light, the casting of the shadows. The telephone pole that was in front of my house had different lengths of shadows. From what I understand, you got to realize, everyone thinks of the Earth as having a North Pole and a South Pole. Lemuria, Atlantis, the Lucifer Rebellion, Thoth. It's some interesting reading. Egypt and stair-step evolution, Akhenaten, and that's it. Then it gets into the Drunvalo, the 1972 Syrian experiment. And then it takes it down, kind of interesting. That's the whole gist of the gist. But let's look at it from a different standpoint.
Footage of a meteorite in flight was taken quite by chance in Alberta in 1972. We'll show it to you twice since it's quite short. The meteorite only broke up a little and seemed to have skipped through the atmosphere and returned to space, which was probably just as well, since it was calculated to be about 150 feet across and would have caused quite some damage if it had come to Earth.
About the daylight fireball of August 10th, 1972. Some people thought it was a UFO. Eyewitnesses, people who've seen the photographs, that's probably not the case. There's also been speculation about the size of the thing. The official record states that it was 45 feet in diameter at the largest. I want to show you a picture which was taken from Jackson Lake, Wyoming, at a range of approximately 175 miles line of sight. And as you can see, it was visible to the naked eye, or they wouldn't have photographed it. But the fireball itself is hard to determine what the size would be from photographs, because
completing the green lights at the upper left portion of the playfield for the first time lights the first ball lock. Completing them a second time lights the second ball lock. Completing them a third time releases the lock balls and begins multi-ball. The second button on the right of the cabinet controls the little demon post.
Speeding it up too much. I mean, you notice I'm trying to start it out slow. Alex? What's the matter with the guitar?
It's 1972 on Boomerang.
Friend's mine passed away. We knew that they had HIV.
Like
1972, a crack commando unit was sent to prison by a military court for a crime they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped from a maximum security stockade to the Los Angeles underground. Today, still wanted by the government, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire the A-Team.
Where two of our peers still lay suspended cool in their tombs of sleep. The nagging choirs of memory, the tubes and wires worming from their flesh to machinery.
Cult of lust-crazed witches, torturing their victims with fire and desire. Daughters of Satan, an ancient painting with the horrifying power to transform an innocent young girl into an insatiable she-devil.
Now, I have a theory about when they call us fate. It means that the coven is out functioning. They have left the painting and are performing as witches.
It's horror that's guaranteed to make your blood scream and your mind curdle. Then, when you can't stand another second of shock, watch Super Beast, a half-man, half-monster, ripping helpless victims to shreds in his mad hunger for human flesh.
I'm going to bypass primary and secondary stages.
Super Beast and Daughters of Satan. Make a date with horror. His and her horror. A double dose of death shown together on the same theater program.
A few minutes, please.
Of course. Take your time.
I can't believe this. A few hours ago, none of this was happening.
I wish there was something I could do. Something.
I was just talking to Mikey about taking him to the amusement park when it got warm enough, just the two of us. She imagined me on a roller coaster. Well, it's a good thing you didn't sign the papers.
Papers?
The divorce papers. The final decree hasn't been issued yet.
I'm sorry, what do you mean?
I'm saying that until Mikey is ours, safely, forever, I want to put an end to all the divorce proceedings.
All right.
I want to do it for our son. He's the most important thing in my life. Is that all right with you?
Biological
But they could have
parents.
faked it.
They didn't. Now, I thought you had accepted that.
I keep hoping.
But Frankie did find out a lot. Would you like to hear it?
Of course I would.
Sit down, please.
Thank you.
The first thing is their story does check out. Mikey disappeared or was kidnapped while they were both at work.
How?
The sitter just took him.
Well, that's what they get for leaving him with a total stranger all day
She
long.
had excellent recommendations and references. Unfortunately, she also had a history of mental problems, which she concealed from the Millers and from everyone else.
I would have spotted that.
It's all in the Cold Springs police record. Apparently, this woman worked as a babysitter for a number of families in town.
I mean, it's practically negligent.
Donna, do you want to hear this or don't you?
I'm sorry, yes.
Basically, we're talking about a working-class couple here. Eve Miller works for the factory. She teaches Sunday school. She also earns extra money by quilting.
Quilting.
Yes, she sells quilts on consignment to a crafts store in town.
How quaint.
And Mr. Miller works for the phone company. They put a binder on a new house just before Mikey disappeared. So they decided not to go ahead with the purchase of the house in order to put all of their savings into trying to find him.
Did you get anything that we could use?
Use as in discredit them?
Yes, in front of the judge. I mean, the other day when I met them, they were practically picture perfect. But everybody has at least one skeleton rattling around in their closet, don't they?
Not these two, Donna.
Are you sure?
They got married right out of high school. They adored their little boy. They put every cent they had into trying to find him. They even traded in their new car for an old heap, the whole bit. Unfortunately, they don't have very much money, so they can't make a search as extensively as they would like to.
Excuse me. You're our lawyer, not theirs.
Donna, believe me, I know how difficult this is. But Frankie really did ask around. The Millers may be poor, but they're very good people, and they never gave up.
I wonder what it would take to change their minds.
What do you mean?
Well, if they're poor as church mice and they can't afford to fight things out in court, can they? Not if we drag it out, right?
It would be very difficult for them, yes. Would you really go to those extremes?
If I have to.
Remember, Mikey is in the middle of all of this.
Cass, let me just say something here before we go any further. I want you to realize this. I love this little boy very much. I love him as much as if I'd given birth to him myself. And I'll do anything I can to keep my son. My son.
What do you want to stop?
Don't be coy, Jake. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Why don't you spell it out for me anyway, Vicky?
You have been tracking my mother all week.
Says who?
Her machine. Are we or are we not running a business together? Sound familiar?
Why are you so interested in this, Jake?
Cass, I am Donna's friend and also her business partner.
Then let her tell you.
I will.
Jake.
Yes?
I know you want to help here, Jake. But this is something that Donna and Michael have to do. They're going through a horrible time right now.
I know that, Cass. That's why I want to help.
Hopefully the court will be impressed with them as a loving couple. You get it? I mean, who knows? Maybe after this ordeal, they'll get back on the track.
Yeah.
Goodbye.